Good evening, YouTube. Who's your Piper, aka Mark, coming at ya? And I have spent a lot of this afternoon just sorting through my tobacco, organizing my tobacco, making a record of it, and I figured I'd just kind of show you what I did. And so, what I've done is I've separated, I've got aromatics, English, vapors, Virginias, cigar leaf, some Scott, is it Scottish, Scott, something like that. Have done everything. I've kind of looked up all my tobaccos on Tobacco Review and just kind of used what they're saying the blends are. And I did that because not so much for my tins, but I have like you've seen some of the videos I've done. I've received a few yabos with samples, and I'm just not even sure what I have. So I figured I would just organize everything and separate it out so I could see what I have, and then I can, if I'm feeling like, hey, I need to smoke an English today, I go over to my English section and smoke it up. So, anyways, I'm gonna turn this camera around and kind of show you a couple things I got going on. So I'm not really sure that this is how it's gonna stay because it doesn't. I don't like the way it looks, but I just got it organized so that I can keep track of what I have. So, unsurprisingly, the largest section I have here is aromatics, and these are all of my aromatics. The tins that are unopened. I've got some aged stuff back in here, and then I've got the jars of stuff that some tins that I've opened up, and then in this box is all of like the samples and maybe other unopened tins that are open that I just don't have out. So that's kind of what I've done. So I've got all my aromatics here. I've got my Englishes here. And again, I just went to Tobacco Review and kind of saw how they were classifying the blends, and I hope I got everything right. And these are my Virginias. And then the Scott, which, I'm not really, I don't understand if it's Scottish or Scotland or whatever, but just a few blends there. My Burleys, I've got my Balkans, cigar leaf, and then down here I've got my vapors, Virginia Latakia. I don't know, that may go into some other one of these other blends. Virginia Burley, and this is an Oriental. Well, that's kind of how I got everything classified there. So now I just go right to a section and I can pull, if it's in a sample like a baggie that somebody sent me, I just pull the baggie out, pack a bowl, and hit the road. So that's kind of what I've done there. And over here, I've just kind of laid out some of my pipes. A lot of these are just real cheap antique shop finds that I'm going to play around with. We got a little pipe holder here. Got my Peterson up on top there. Some pictures. Got my humidor with my cigars in it. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking this is what I want to do. What I'm probably going to do is put up some more shelves, and then I'll be able to spread it out and make it look a lot neater. Okay, this is a journal that I received with some tobacco that I purchased, and I've logged all my tins in here, like keeping track of everything that I've gotten. And the first part of it here is just tins. So like I'll have Sutliff, I'll list all the tins out that I had, the date that I purchased them, what type they are. Obviously these are all aromatics. That January 2017, April, that one. When I cross one off, it means I've opened it up or I finished that tin. And my Petersons, so I got Burley, English, Virginias, aromatics. Now again, I got all these classifications from tobaccoreviews.com or whatever it is. Virginias. So the Scott, Scottish blend or whatever, I don't know. English. A couple of them are crossed off here. And I just keep adding to it. And then if they have age on it, I'll write, you know, the date, but I also will include when I purchased it. So this one's aged from 1994, but I purchased it this month at the Balkan. You know, Virginia Latakia. It's kind of my own classification system here. And I just did that with all of my tins. I should count, see how many I actually got. This is the last order I just got from Pipes and Cigars. So I've got that, and then, see if I can find it here. And then I've got what I call my bulk or my samples. And so I started off like with Cigar Leaf, the blend, was it gifted to me? And then who was it that gifted it to me? So, you know, I've got some Dominican Glory. Was it gifted? Yes. Who was it? Pipes and Kayaks. And that way when I go and pull that sample out of that whatever category it is, which is cigar here, then I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, Brad sent that to me. So it's kind of a way for me to kind of keep in mind who sent me what, and it's, you know, just a way to stay appreciative of the tobaccos I've received. So then give myself a couple pages. You know, I've got some Virginias, obviously. These are all the ones I've just received. You know, the Pebble Cut, that was from Brad. The Luxury Twist Flake, that was from Ladon. Some El Nino from Ramon. And then on the ones where I think I'll have, you know, more bulk than others, I'll give a few more pages. You know, my Burleys, my Haunted Bookshop. Was that gifted? No, I bought that, so there's no one over here. My Sir Walter Raleigh, you know, I bought that myself. Kind of my own system of keeping track of what I have. Aromatics, Englishes, Corncob Piper, sent me several Englishes, Bryce Parker, sent me some John Bull English. These are all things I have not finished yet. And then as I finish them, I'll cross them off. You know, the Margate, I bought that myself. And give myself some extra pages there. And then the Scott, again, I'm just not familiar with it, but the 965, you know, I got that sample from Corey. And so on. And then in the very back are, I'm not going to show them to you, but there are addresses of everybody that I've done interactions with, so that I can keep track of, you know, the people that have sent me stuff, and so I can send stuff out. So that's my system that I just kind of came up with this afternoon, and I've got everything organized. I feel a lot better just knowing what I have, where I can go to what section of the shelf and pick it out. And I think I'll be able to, you know, smoke some of these things that I, you know, was forgetting about. I just had them stashed in little places here and there, and I had no idea what I had. So I jarred up a bunch of the samples that I got from like Brad and Nika Piper and Ladon, because they were so generous. You know, I just put them in jars. So pretty stoked about this. So the one question I do have coming out of this video is, if you are gifted a lot of samples like I have been this week, you know, I bet you I've got 20 baggies of tobacco. Do you jar up every single one of those tobaccos? I mean, what's your system? Or do you leave them in baggies if they're a smaller sample and then just smoke them? Or, you know, what do you do? Help out a newbie pipe smoker. I would appreciate it. All right. Have a great rest of the weekend. It's Saturday evening. Until next time, who's your piper?